Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosa, and this, what we're looking at right here, is a Soldier 76 USA. That's all I heard last time I was in the USA at the Overwatch World Cup skin. Look at that. That looks absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's just a recolor of a skin, but that looks crazily good. Now, what they're doing is they're giving us skins for every nation that is at the World Cup finals. Now, whether we'll be able to play, like actually buy these skins or whatever as players of the game, I don't know. All that I know is whatever the UK one looks like, I will be absolutely going, please, Jeff, can you send me the skin? Can you please bind it to my account? Please, Jeff, please, please, please. Please, even if it's bad, but I don't think it'll be bad because look at this USA one. Now, the interesting thing with these skins is this is, I'd imagine, the USA home skin. There is going to be a USA away skin, and this is the same for every single kit. In fact, what they call them is team uniforms. Now, we've seen a lot of this with Overwatch League teams, haven't we? Where, you know, you'll see their kind of recolor with the Mercy one and all of that stuff. This is what this is, and this is like the next step with Overwatch spectating, because no longer are you just looking at standard skins, you're actually looking at team colors. You will go, okay, that's my team, I support that team. It is a great, like, it's awesome. I mean, guys, let me know what you think about this. This is absolutely, look at that, look at it. That looks amazing. We've also got this one as well. This is a China skin for May. This looks very similar to the Shanghai Dragon skin, which was announced, like, I think they were the first Overwatch League team to get announced with that logo and such. Yeah, it's a red May with, well, yellow accents on it, and it's got the Chinese flag. And also, actually, Snowball looks rather demonic there. I've only just noticed that, actually. What the hell? It's got like a crazy red glow, and it's mental. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, there has been a developer update video, and it's a bit of a different one because this dev update focuses on esports. Now, it's the first time they've ever done anything which focuses on it like to this extent. Now, obviously, we know Overwatch World Cup is going to be a pretty big thing, but Overwatch League is what they're all kind of building up to, or at least it feels that way. So Jeff has put out a video. Now, I'm not going to show this video in this video because it's kind of redundant. You guys can go and watch it, but I'll quickly jump over, or kind of go over, what Jeff was talking about in the video. So the first thing we've got is he acknowledges it's hard to watch. It is hard to watch Overwatch, right? Because there's just loads of explosions going off. It's totally cluttered. A lot of the spectators generally use, well, when competitions are played, the game is run on Ultra, it looks like to me, where there's loads of visual clutter. I mean, there's a reason why I play the game on low. There's a reason why a load of people, even with computers that are capable of playing the game at high graphical settings, play on low, because it reduces the clutter and it makes it easier for you, well, to play the game. So if players are doing that, well, then surely that needs to happen for the spectators. Anyway, Jeff acknowledges this is a problem that the spectator client needs cleaning up. So then what he does is introduces team uniforms and team color palettes. Now, the interesting thing with the color palette is, you know, when D.Va detonates her bomb, if your team colors are green, D.Va's bomb will explode green. If you're firing Helix rockets, it will be green. If Tracer is firing her pulse pistols, it will look green. That is what they're doing. This, I think, is actually a really huge change to the engine, because I highly doubt what they've done is imported loads and loads of effects for each different team color combination. I bet you what they've done is they've changed the system. So whatever the particle engine is, it will dynamically change the colors when you select your team colors, when you're like going into like a competitive lobby, because then, well, that makes more sense, doesn't it? So you could have, like, you know, let's say like a unit loss color scheme, which would be like light blue, royal blue, and white. Well, you could have like white effects going on all the weapons. It looked totally crazy, that would. I think that's what's going on, and I'm pretty sure this is why maybe it's taken a lot of dev time to set this up. But yeah, what we're going to see is team colors for everything. So we're going to see team, like, jerseys, kits, uniforms as they call them, but then we're also going to see particle effects that will be the same color as the team. So that's going to make it much easier to follow what's going on. It's still going to be very messy, but it's going to be better and easier to see. The next thing they're going to add is a interactive top-down map. Now, they spoke about this before. Not for us players of the game, we won't be able to see a map like, you know, like you can on Counter-Strike, for example. The spectators will be able to see this, but it's interactive. Now, Jeff actually says this is a really cool thing. Now, again, we've not seen any of this just yet. It probably will go on the PTR fairly soon. There are some spectator changes on the PTR right now. They are, it's mainly just UI changes that are on the PTR. You guys can go and just play on the PTR if you want to check that out. I don't think it was actually worth making a video on that just yet, because there's no, like, kind of like, wow, this is amazing. Like, we don't have any insane features just yet on the PTR. There is also a new smart third-person camera. Now, You can kind of see this a little bit, I think, on the PTR. So you guys know the camera view that they use, where it's sort of over the shoulder of the character, but the character's offset to the left. Now it kind of looks like the character's in the middle, the camera is further back, so you can see what's going on. And apparently this camera is sort of like, I guess, AI controlled, where it just sort of follows the action. And so like spectators don't actually have to manually do this. They can just hit a hotkey, I presume, and it just locks straight onto whatever the hell's going on there. So that sounds cool. But again, we don't have any, well, not evidence, but we don't have any I don't have anything to show you with this just yet, so hopefully this will get updated soon. Now, this is a biggie. This is instant replays. Now, the way Jeff explains this is in the kill feed, a spectator. So when I say spectator, guys, I don't mean us watching it like on a stream on Twitch or whatever. I mean like the actual observers in the game, the people who show us the action. They will be able to interact with the kill feed, and the game will instantly reload and replay in, which they can speed up, slow down, rewind, fast forward. I can't wait to see this in action. That just sounds crazy, and that's something that obviously I really wanted. That was like one of my top priorities for the Spectator, so that's really cool that we're going to get that. There is also an automated tournament interface. Now, we don't actually know what this looks like again, but the way Jeff explains this is it's going to make things much easier. And there's going to be things in the game such as if somebody disconnects in a match, it will automatically pause. You don't have to have somebody pause the game. This is going to facilitate things like getting your teams together, getting your team names correct, getting all of that kind of stuff sorted out. This actually could be the underlying stuff for a inbuilt tournament system in the game. This is what I've always wanted as well. In fact, last year at Blizzcon, we gave a lot of feedback about this, and I'm like, look, it would be awesome if we could set competitions up in the game. StarCraft 2 already does this, so I don't see why this can't be sort of not directly imported, but can't you use bits and pieces of that? So hopefully that's what this is. This is like the underlying technology which will then ultimately allow us to just run competitions. Because I tell you something, guys, the best thing all I would do if I was given the option to do this is I would run unit loss competitions all the time, and I would just play in them myself. Like, it would be so good. But we also need a guild system for that, don't we? Maybe we'll get that at BlizzCon. I don't know. That's been my big sort of thing, right? And if we get that, it'll be awesome. Anyway. He then goes on to obviously talk about some of the little changes and stuff, and then he says, look, this is just the beginning, so don't expect this to be the end. You know, we love esports, we want you guys to love esports, etc, etc. Now, he does say go and check out the Overwatch World Cup, because that's where all of this stuff will be debuted. Now, it's going to be interesting for me because I'm going to be there on the ground watching this live. One thing which did disappoint me out of all of this, all of these announcements, is there is no mention of live stats. Now, I think it would be awesome if we did have live stat overlays. I'm sure this is something they're going to work on and something they will put into the game at some point. But as there's no mention of it here from Jeff, probably not going to see this at the Overwatch World Cup, which is a little bit disappointing because we see a lot of Zenyatta play. I'd like to know, which Zen has kept his Discord up longer, Discord orb up longer, which Zen has healed more, which Zen has got more eliminations. Like, I kind of want to see that information as a spectator. So hopefully they are working on giving us all of that good stuff. But Jeff's been a very busy boy as well. Now, over the last couple of weeks, there hasn't been much sort of activity off the developers. And Jeff explains the reason for this is because they've been really working hard trying to get everything ready for, well, the BlizzCon, basically, the Spectator tool and all of that stuff. But he has actually given us a bit of feedback. So I'm going to go over this now. And the first thing he spoke about is Mercy. And this is more specifically nerfing of Mercy. So brace yourself, ladies and gentlemen. We've been discussing the state of the Mercy rework a lot and listening to all of the feedback. Overall, we feel like the new direction for Mercy is much better for both Mercy and non-Mercy players, but we do feel like she's too dominant right now. In particular, we feel like the Resurrect ability is changing the tone of the game to a degree which is simply too powerful. As such, we're experimenting with different toned-down versions of the ability. After all, Resurrect is no longer an ultimate and is now on a cooldown ability, so it needs to be less powerful. I know that you're going to want more details, but we're nearing a point with internal iteration where we feel comfortable putting something on the PTR soon. We'd rather have you play the changes than theory craft them. Alright, well, I'm going to theory craft them anyway. This has to be Resurrect with less than 100% health. It's got to be. The only other way they could change Resurrect would be having it based on some sort of channel where you sort of have to lock Mercy's beam onto the dead target and sort of heal them for a couple of seconds, then they come back to life. That could be the other way of doing this. But given it's an ability, I doubt that they would remove that ability. They probably still want it as an E ability, so it's probably just going to bring you back with less health. I think that's what they're going to do. Now, Mercy Resurrect is a bit of a problem because of the way it messes up the flow of the game. And like I've just spoke about the Spectator tool, one of the things I'm finding really difficult watching Overwatch right now, especially pro level Overwatch is you kind of lose the flow of the game because Mercy sort of reses somebody, then she reses again, and she flies around, and it's really messy. Like, things before which were sort of reward, like, oh yeah, you've got to kill, great reward there. Now it's sort of like, yeah, you got to kill, but Mercy's just going to res that target, and that means Mercy's going to be on the other team. And you guys know what it's like right now. Mercy's pretty much in every single game. So it was odds on this was going to be looked at. So it's good that Jeff has actually addressed this. So there are more changes coming to Mercy. So yeah, hold tight for that one. Competitive play. Now, this is a huge one, right, guys? So I'll just read what Jeff says. Another topic that we've been focusing on a lot lately is competitive play. We don't have immediate changes to discuss right now, but we're closely studying issues with perceived problems with the system with an eye towards improvement. Along with that, we talk a lot about matchmaking within the competitive system. We have some plans that should improve some issues that players are seeing, especially at the high end of the skill rating spectrum. We have long and short-term plans for competitive that should hopefully improve the experience over time. We're hoping that we can get more of these changes in at a faster pace rather than waiting for major milestones. Some of the matchmaking work we want to do is strictly done on our servers, which means that we don't have to wait for a big patch to go out. Again, I know you want more specific details, but game development is a process. We're actively discussing and iterating on ideas and systems right now. So this doesn't really give us any information, does it? It just says, yeah, we're working on matchmaking. Yeah, there'll be some upgrades. Yeah. It doesn't really want to give us any details, but at least he's acknowledged it. You know, obviously toxicity is the problem. So this is the next point Jeff goes on to, right? The third big focus that's being discussed internally, a lot of what we do here cannot and we will not discuss publicly. The more players understand about how these systems work, the more they will be able to game them. There have been a lot of improvements in this area, and the number of action players continues to rise. The more we restore your faith in our systems, the more we hope you use them. Talking about reporting here specifically, we're also hoping to have player feedback in the game when someone you reported was actioned by the end of the year. The email pilot program has gone well so far. We will keep trying to expand that until we get our in-game system up and running. Please keep using the reporting system. I swear to you, it does work, and we're really focused on improving it, but we need your help. So yeah, right. Toxicity is a major problem. They are looking at ways of making the system better. They're never going to explain to us how it works, you know, because then obviously people would game the system, etc., etc., etc. We get all of that, but yeah, like the line which gets me is the more we restore your faith in our system. So hopefully they've got something in the pipeline which is going to restore our faith, because every game I go into of Overwatch, well, not every game, that's a bit crazy, but most games you go into, somebody will be aggressive, toxic, throw, troll pick, you know, all of that kind of happens, or people won't flex and there'll be terrible team comps as a result, etc. There's loads of problems, and these are things which probably can only be solved with, you know, maybe guild systems, pick ban systems, you know, Blizzcon, hello, please, hello. And then he does wrap up with this. He says, obviously, there is a lot more going on besides these three topics I brought up, but I think there are three things. Those are the three things that some of the issues in the community as a whole is most concerned about, and therefore I think those should be my team's top priorities. So this is actually quite good. This is Jeff saying, look, we understand what's going on in the community, so these are our top priorities right now. We have a ton of cool, fun stuff coming, some of which will be announced at BlizzCon. Now, is this a new hero? I don't know. Like, I'm kind of thinking that BlizzCon ain't actually a new hero. Hopefully, it's a guild system. I think now I'd take a guild system over a new hero, but we do need a new hero. Like, it's going to be crazy if there is no hero, but if there's a guild system instead, I'm kind of going to be like, okay, that's all right to sort of exchange them. You get what I'm saying, guys? It's like, all right. Anyway, and we're also really proud of some of the work we just completed making spectating esports better. World Cup should be pretty cool and will teach us a lot for when it comes to improving spectating in the future. All right, guys, I've been Stylosa, and this is Unit Lost. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. A lot of stuff in this video. I could have broke this down into multiple videos, but there's no point, really. We'll just put this into one video, so it's pretty concise, and you guys can just go through it, get up to date on what's going on, and then we can just sort of discuss this in the comments below. So make sure you do comment below. There's a lot of stuff going on here, and yeah, I can't wait to see the comments. All right, guys, I've been Stylosa. This is Unit Lost. If you enjoyed the video, then like the video. You can subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming, and you should join the Discord as well, which is discord.gg/UnitLost. And I will catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.